Something huge and strong lives in the ocean, and even the biggest animals of its time could not escape its anger. The Megalodon is the most dangerous animal that has ever lived in the sea. From fossils of its strikes that broke bones to stories about how it lived, this ancient giant is still an interesting and scary figure. Let us dive into the depths of the ocean and try to figure out what this huge animal is. Chapter 1. Prehistoric Attack Scene. It took place millions of years ago in a huge ocean from a prehistoric age. A 9-meter-long whale glides through the water like a powerful king. All of a sudden, the ocean's peace is disrupted. From the darkness comes a huge shadow of a monster called the Megalodon that is over twice the size of a whale. It strikes with unbelievable speed and force, sending a bone-shattering bite through the body. What happened next can be seen in fossils. When the Megalodon bit, its teeth, which had a bite force of about 20 tons, crushed the whale's ribs and spine in one terrible blow. To put this in perspective, the force was so strong that it could break thick bones and do a lot of damage inside the body. The whale had no hope. Its struggle ended as quickly as it began, leaving no time to escape or fight back. This attack wasn't an accident. Megalodon's bite marks on fossilized whale bones show how well it planned and executed its attacks. It aimed for important parts of the body like the ribs and spine, because it knew that these hits would quickly knock out its prey. The predator's skill at hunting is honed over millions of years of evolution, and it is clear from how well the attack works. This kind of attack had effects beyond the person or thing it was aimed at. Every animal in the water was scared of it, because it controlled the ecosystem. This animal wasn't just looking for food, it was also trying to show that it was the most important animal in the food chain. Whales, which were once thought to be some of the most dangerous animals in the ocean, were nothing more than prey in the company of this ancient giant. This fight from the Stone Age gives us a scary glimpse into a world where megalodons rule. Strong, smart, and cruel, it made sure it was always in charge, making it a unique top hunter in history. Chapter 2. Figuring out what the Megalodon is. Ancient evidence had to be carefully studied to figure out what kind of scary creature was doing these attacks. The first hint? Massive, sharp, and unlike anything else seen before teeth. Some of these teeth were over 7 inches long. They were the best tools for a monster that was made to rule. Each tooth was made to not only tear through skin, but also break down bone, leaving marks that could not be missed. More proof came from the bite marks found on the fossilized bodies of whales and other big sea monsters. Because of their size and depth, these marks could only belong to one animal, the Megalodon. The accuracy of these bites showed that the creature was not only strong, but also very smart. It struck very precisely and left behind patterns that scientists could study millions of years later. You could see how big the Megalodon's mouth was behind its teeth. Scientists built back a jaw that was up to 3 meters wide by looking at the size, shape, and placement of these teeth. This jaw made it possible for the Megalodon to eat huge chunks of meat, which was necessary for a creature that big. With a bite force of 20 tons, it was much stronger than any known attacker, past or present. The Megalodon's widespread appearance was also very important in identifying it. Teeth and bones that have been bit have been found all over the world, from the Americas to Asia, Europe, and Africa. This data points to a predator that ruled not just one area, but the whole ocean system around the world. Finding the Megalodon also helped us understand what it left behind. The name comes from the Greek words mega, meaning big, and odon, meaning tooth. This name perfectly describes what makes the creature unique, but the teeth don't tell the whole story. The fact that the predator lived all over the world and was very damaging proved that it was the most dangerous predator in the ocean. Through fossil evidence and scientific analysis, the Megalodon was brought to life in our imaginations. It was a scary creature of the ocean's deep past. Its teeth, bite marks, and jaw reconstruction show that it was a very strong and accurate hunter that ruled the ocean. This solidifies its place in history as the ocean's most powerful predator. Chapter 3. Habitat and time period. The Megalodon, one of the most formidable predators to ever swim the oceans, roamed the seas approximately 23 to 2.6 million years ago. This timeline places the Megalodon in the Miocene and Pliocene epochs, a period when the Earth's oceans were teeming with life and undergoing significant transformations. During this time, the planet was warmer, creating conditions ideal for this massive shark to thrive. Fossil evidence reveals that Megalodon's range was astonishingly vast. Teeth and vertebrae attributed to this giant have been discovered across every continent except Antarctica. From the warm coastal waters of the Americas to the depths of the Mediterranean and even near the shores of Asia and Africa, the Megalodon claimed dominance in nearly every part of the global ocean system. The one exception to its expansive habitat was the polar regions. The icy waters of the poles were likely too cold for the Megalodon, which thrived in warmer, temperate seas. This widespread distribution suggests that the Megalodon was not only a skilled hunter, but also highly adaptable. It inhabited both shallow coastal areas and deeper waters, depending on where prey was most abundant. Fossil evidence indicates that it may have preferred areas rich in marine mammals, such as whales and seals, which were a primary source of food. The sheer size and power of the Megalodon meant it had few competitors, allowing it to dominate its environment. Its habitat likely shifted with seasonal migrations, following prey patterns across vast distances. The warm, nutrient-rich waters near coastlines would have been prime hunting grounds, offering abundant food and favorable conditions for reproduction and raising young. The disappearance of the Megalodon roughly 2.6 million years ago coincided with dramatic changes in its environment. As Earth's climate cooled during the Pleistocene epoch, sea levels dropped and polar ice caps expanded. These shifts likely disrupted the Megalodon's food supply and breeding grounds, contributing to its eventual extinction. Despite its massive size and dominance, the Megalodon could not adapt quickly enough to survive these changes. The legacy of its habitat and time period shows its reign as a global predator. The fossils scattered worldwide continue to remind us of a time when this colossal shark ruled the oceans, its presence felt in nearly every corner of the marine world. Chapter 4. Physical Characteristics. The physical characteristics of the Megalodon are nothing short of extraordinary. This ancient predator was a true giant, with an estimated length ranging from 16 to 22 meters. To put that in perspective, it was nearly 3 times the size of the largest great white shark alive today. Weighing up to 50 tons, the Megalodon's immense size made it one of the largest predators to ever exist on Earth. The most defining feature of the Megalodon was its massive jaws. These jaws could span nearly 3 meters wide, capable of engulfing large prey in a single bite. Within these jaws were approximately 250 serrated teeth arranged in 5 rows. Each tooth was engineered for destruction, with serrations that made it ideal for cutting through flesh and crushing bone. If a tooth was lost during a hunt, it was quickly replaced by the next in line, ensuring the predator was never without its lethal arsenal. The Megalodon's bite force was equally impressive. Capable of exerting up to 20 tons of pressure, its bite was powerful enough to crush the bones of its prey, even large marine mammals. This unmatched jaw strength was a critical adaptation, allowing the predator to tackle massive prey like whales and other large sea creatures. The body of the Megalodon was robust and streamlined, built for power and speed. Its shape resembled that of modern sharks, but on a much larger scale. Its muscular body enabled it to move swiftly through the water, surprising prey with sudden bursts of speed. The fins were proportionally large and powerful, providing stability and maneuverability, essential for a predator of its size. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Megalodon's physical characteristics was its thermoregulation. Unlike many modern sharks, which are cold-blooded, evidence suggests that the Megalodon may have been partially warm-blooded. This adaptation would have allowed it to maintain higher activity levels and thrive in a wide range of water temperatures, giving it an edge over other predators. The physical attributes of the Megalodon made it a nearly unstoppable force in its environment. Its size, strength, and deadly jaws ensured its dominance for millions of years. Even today, its fossilized remains serve as a reminder of a predator that was perfectly designed for its role at the top of the food chain. Chapter 5. Jaw Power and Hunting Abilities. The Megalodon's mouth wasn't just a way to eat, it was also a very strong and accurate weapon. These jaws were made to be the best. They can crush things with enough force to lift over 10 tons. To give you an idea of how strong this was, the Megalodon's bite could break through solid bone, leaving even the toughest prey helpless. Because it was so powerful, it was a predator that not only hunted, but also made sure its food couldn't get away. Megalodon's jaws were a natural engineering wonder because of how they were built. With rows of very sharp teeth, these mouths worked like a conveyor belt, making sure that if a tooth fell out during a hunt, it would be replaced quickly. The hunter was always ready to strike because it was so good at what it did. The sharp edges of its teeth made it even more damaging, making it easy for it to cut through flesh and bone. The Megalodon's hunting skills were improved by both its strong jaws and its fast-moving speed. When it was timed, it went about 5 kilometers per h, 3 miles per hour, which is faster than many current sharks, like the great white. With this speed, the Megalodon was able to get very close to its food very quickly. It was a sneaky predator that used its size and strength to attack before its prey could move. Megalodons used both strength and stealth to catch their prey. Even though it was very big, it used the depths of the ocean to its advantage by sneaking up on its food from behind or below. Once it got close, a single bite would often end the fight, because its jaws were so strong they could break bones and cause terrible damage in an instant. Not only was the Megalodon strong, but it could also adapt according to its surroundings. It was the most powerful animal in prehistoric seas because it could hunt a wide range of animals and was very good at killing them. It wasn't just that this predator was big and strong, it was also a master of its surroundings and had everything it needed to stay at the top of the food chain. Chapter 6. Diet and prey. Because the Megalodon was so big and strong, it needed a huge amount of food. This old animal hunted whales, dolphins, seals, sea turtles, and other large marine animals. It lived to eat and destroyed everything in its path, evidenced by the clear damage patterns on the fossilized remains of its food. One of its major prey was whales. The Megalodon's huge size and incredibly strong jaws are supported by bite marks found on the rib cages and bodies of prehistoric whales. These marks paint a clear picture of how it fed, showing that it attacked its prey in key places to quickly disable it. The Megalodon made sure of a quick kill by breaking bones and cutting arteries, leaving little room for escape or fight. It also ate seals and dolphins. These small, quick animals were not safe from the predator's deadly blend of speed and stealth. The Megalodon could outrun many of its prey, striking before they could respond thanks to its top speed of 5 kilometers per hour. Sea turtles' hard shells didn't protect them from the teeth of the predator, which could break bones. Shell fragments found in fossils show that the Megalodon was able to get through even the strongest defenses. What was interesting about the Megalodon's food was how varied and flexible it was. Specialized hunters need specific prey to survive, but the Megalodon's broad appetite lets it take advantage of many food sources. This ability to change was very important for meeting its huge energy needs and staying ahead of other marine animals. Its hunting habits changed the marine environment in a way that will last for a long time. The Megalodon was very important to keep the balance of its environment and people in check because it ate big sea creatures. But this balance was set by the ocean's sheer power, which made it a dangerous place for anything that swam nearby. Before it died out, the Megalodon was the top hunter, and there was nothing else that could compare. Its food habits and hunting skills showed not only that it was good at living, but also that it was an expert at controlling the ocean, making it one of the most dangerous animals that ever lived. Chapter 7. Competition and Predation. The Megalodon is often considered the apex predator of its time. It wasn't without challenges in the prehistoric oceans. Although adult Megalodons were virtually untouchable due to their colossal size and immense power, the dynamic ecosystem of ancient seas meant they faced competition and predation threats, especially during their early years. One of the notable competitors of the Megalodon was the ancient sperm whale. These marine mammals were not only large but also intelligent, traveling in pods and using coordinated strategies to protect themselves from predators. Fossil evidence reveals scars and bite marks that suggest intense confrontations between megalodons and ancient sperm whales. While these whales could defend themselves effectively, the size and jaw power of a full-grown megalodon often tipped the scales in its favor. Juvenile megalodons, however, lived a very different reality. Born in coastal nursery areas, these young sharks were significantly smaller than their adult counterparts and measured around 3 to 4 meters in length. At this stage, they were vulnerable to predation by other large marine predators, including their own kind. Cannibalism among sharks is not uncommon, and megalodons likely engaged in similar behavior, with larger juveniles preying on smaller ones to reduce competition for food. Additionally, the competition for resources was fierce. The Megalodon shared its habitat with other formidable creatures, such as giant marine reptiles and predatory fish, all vying for the same prey. These competitors often pushed Megalodons to adapt their hunting strategies, which may explain their ability to target and efficiently kill massive prey like whales. Despite these challenges, adult Megalodons reigned supreme in the oceans. Their size and strength were unmatched, and their role as apex predators meant they had no natural enemies. Even the ancient sperm whales, which could be aggressive in groups, rarely posed a threat to a fully grown megalodon. The balance of power in the ocean was clear. While some creatures might have challenged young megalodons or engaged in opportunistic conflicts, nothing could dethrone the adults. Megalodons had to deal with competition and being eaten, especially when they were young and weak. But with time, these problems changed how they behaved and made them not only dangerous animals, but also adaptable creatures who could survive in a changing and dangerous environment. Chapter 8. Fossil Evidence and Reconstruction. The story of the Megalodon wouldn't have been uncovered without the vital clues left behind in the form of fossils. Unlike many ancient creatures, the Megalodon's skeletons did not fossilize well because their bodies were composed mostly of cartilage, a material that decomposes rapidly. However, the teeth of the Megalodon, made of tough enamel, proved to be its lasting legacy. Fossilized Megalodon teeth, often discovered in coastal regions and ocean beds, have been instrumental in reconstructing the creature's size and diet. These teeth, measuring over 7 inches in length, provide not only a glimpse into the predator's massive jaw structure, but also its feeding habits. The serrated edges of these teeth indicate that the Megalodon was capable of slicing through flesh and bone with ease. Partially preserved spines, though rare, have also contributed valuable insights. By examining the vertebral columns of megalodons, scientists have been able to estimate their body length, confirming that some individuals reached up to 18 meters in size. These spines also give hints about the shark's mobility and hunting strategies, suggesting a combination of speed and power that made it a dominant force in the ocean. Modern technology has further enhanced our understanding of the megalodon. Advanced modeling techniques, such as 3D reconstruction, have allowed researchers to simulate the predator's behavior, swimming patterns, and feeding mechanisms. By piecing together data from teeth and vertebrae, scientists have created detailed models of the Megalodon's jaw, demonstrating how it could exert a bite force of 20 tons. These reconstructions have also shed light on the Megalodon's role in its ecosystem. By studying the wear patterns on its teeth and analyzing bite marks on fossilized prey, researchers have identified the types of creatures it hunted and the methods it used to capture and kill them. From whales to large fish, the Megalodon's diet reveals its position at the top of the food chain. Prehistoric fossils and reconstructions of the Megalodon give us an interesting look into the life of this dangerous animal. Even though there is still a lot to learn about this old giant, its teeth, spines, and modern simulations bring it to life and let us imagine how it ruled the oceans in the past. Chapter 9. The scientific role. The Megalodon's discovery and subsequent scientific study are interesting examples of the history of paleontology and the never-ending quest to learn more about Earth's prehistoric past. In 1667, Danish scientist Nicholas Steno identified the fossilized remains of what he called tongue stones. This was the first step in figuring out what kind of animal this huge hunter was. Later, it was found that these bones were actually shark teeth. This was a big step forward in our understanding of the fossil record. After some time, in 1843, the Swiss scientist Louis Agassiz officially named the species Megalodon, which means big tooth. Agassiz's work was very important in setting the stage for current studies of sharks. Researchers can now look into what role this monster plays in marine ecosystems because he named and classified the Megalodon. Agassiz's methods, which included both observation and comparative anatomy, helped scientists figure out what species went extinct. They connected current marine biology to the study of prehistoric animals. Megalodon remains have been studied a lot more since Agassiz's time. Scientists have used cutting-edge tools like CT scans and 3D models to reconstruct its jaw and teeth. This helps us learn more about its physical traits and how it hunts. Not only do these results help paleontology, but they also help areas like biomechanics and evolutionary biology. Also, studying the Megalodon has helped us learn more about marine ecosystems and how predators and prey interacted in the seas of the past. Fossils of this species have been found all over the world, showing that it had a big effect on wildlife around the world. Scientists have learned more about how top predators affect the balance of sea life by studying these fossils. This has helped them understand the complex web of life that exists today. Besides that, the Megalodon can be used to teach us about how species go extinct. It went extinct about 3.6 million years ago, which shows how vulnerable even the most common species are to changes in their habitat. These studies show how important it is to protect marine ecosystems today by comparing problems from the past to those we face now. Overall, the study of Megalodon has made a lot of scientific advances that go far beyond its teeth and size. Scientists are still interested in this predator's story because it teaches us a lot about evolution, how ecosystems work, and how all living things on Earth are linked. Chapter 10. Impact and Legacy. Scientists and historians are still fascinated by the Megalodon as a symbol of old ocean predators. Because of its huge size and strength, it has become a culture icon that stands for power and strength in the ocean. The Megalodon has become a central figure in movies and series that try to explain the mysteries of the ocean and prehistoric life. The impact of this huge predator goes beyond fascination. Its life cycle shows us how important it is to protect sea ecosystems and understand how life works. For all time, the Megalodon has been a symbol of how strong and fragile nature can be. So, what do you think about this amazing monster and what it left behind? Leave your ideas in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe if you want to know more amazing history and mysteries of the world.